I think you don't get a loan. That's a recipe for disaster when you're first starting.
Get out of debt. Eliminate that debt as soon as you can, and it will free up your monthly budget considerably.
I would never use a credit card for consumption.
Do not take out a loan to pay for a wedding.
Don't take out a loan to do this, if that's what you're gonna ask.
Just 2 years ago, I had 70K of debt, and today I'm down to 40K. I had my wake-up call when I was 31. It was a normal day. I was sitting at my parents' house, had a cup of tea with them, and just talking. Then I realized them getting older, and me too. I asked myself, what will happen in 20 years of future when they're in need? Would my financials allow me to support not only myself, but also my loved ones? Or will I be stuck in a loop of debt because basically I was too weak to control my spending habits? You may ask how I did accumulate 70K of debt in my 20s. I'll ask a different question to you. Is there anyone who could live his life without taking up a loan? I couldn't. I needed a student loan to get a degree. I needed to take up another bank loan in order to marry. And if I somehow decide later on to buy a house, I would need again a loan to do it. It's just because some people aren't born wealthy. Let's jump into the different strategies on how to pay off debt fast. The first thing to do is to create a list called purpose of debt. So currently I have 3 loans. Let's create a list for them with loan 1, loan 2 and loan 3. Next to it, we fill out the purpose. So loan 1 would be for my student loan debt, loan 2 for my marriage debt, and loan 3 for my consumption debt. Just a few years ago, I had 4 more positions in this list, but due to my new strategy, they are completely gone. Next to the current debt positions, you fill out the total amount you owe to the bank plus the remaining. And at last you fill out for each the interest rates. After you've identified all these different types of debts, there are some strategies you could apply. The first is called the Snowball method. This is where you pay off the smallest amounts first. You get some quick wins by reducing the total amount of debt positions you have. Then you feel good about yourself, get motivated and tackle the next on the list. The order will keep the same from lowest to highest. The second method is called the Avalanche method. Here you start paying off the one with the highest interest rate. That way you would reduce the total amount you need to pay back. Basically, this saves you money. The third method, which is rarely talked about, is restructuring debt from high interest debt to low interest debt, or let's say tax deductible debt. For example, you could refinance your high interest personal loan into a mortgage or business loan. The banking system is known to give better rates on them, so although you still owe the bank money, you have acquired something of value which could act as a security if you fail your monthly payments. This method is quite risky as you need a good understanding of tax and finance, because you could fall into an even deeper hole. This brings us to the next thing I want to talk about, is to fix your spending habits. As someone coming from zero, I never had access to money. Once graduated and landed a high-paying job, I bought designer clothes, a new car, eating out more often, all of it to enjoy the good life. I thought I've earned it, but it took me years to realize that this actually was drowning me even more. Every time, just after a few days of collecting my paycheck, there was almost no money left in my bank account. Plus, I had also some big life milestones like marrying, and in my culture, it's expensive. If you want to have really good tips on how to fix your spending habits, watch this video over here. But for now, I will give you some quick wins. The first is cancel unused subscriptions. If you're still paying for subscriptions and don't use them, cancel. Second, negotiate overpriced contracts. Call your provider and ask them for better rates and what they could offer you. This is massively underrated, as just 2 weeks ago I got better rates on my gym subscription. It went from $29.99 to $19.99 a month. And additionally, they did cancel my service fees, like $60 every 3 months or so. Next in line to fix your spending habits is to reduce impulse buying behavior. People think it means no dinners out, no vacation, just sitting in a dark room and feeling sorry about yourself. I feel that you could have a fun and cool life whilst cutting expenses. Probably you shouldn't spend $7,249 just for a vacation, which by the way is the average number for Americans. It doesn't need to be that 5-star hotel for your Instagram profile that no one cares about. You could also have fun in a $500 Airbnb. But besides the spending habits, the thing that worked for me best is to religiously follow budgets. Over the years of that, I didn't know where my money was going. I had sat down and wrote all my expenses in a list. But today I do it daily and have categories each for rent, groceries, health, and so on. And actually many people I know that do budgeting look first on their income and then estimate how much each category needs. So income minus expenses leaves them with the money they can save. I found that this approach enabled me only to 30% of my full saving potential. I got to 100% by splitting up my banking accounts first. I now have multiple accounts, but in this case I have one for the income and one for my expenses. The income account acts as a receiver for my salary, and let's say I make around 4.5k in my main job. And then the other expenses account acts as a transmitter for the expenses. But the main difference to my friends that do budgeting also is I don't calculate each expense beforehand. The trick was for me that I paid all my income to the expense account in the first month. In the second month, I reduced it from 4.5k to 4k and left that $500 aside. The second month, I reduced $500 again to 3.5k. And I did that until I hit that spot where I couldn't cover my expenses at all. Then you'll get a warning from the service provider that you weren't able to pay for the service. And every time I got in that moment, I asked myself, do I really need this service? I did that for a year, and now I do know where all my money is going. Plus, I only use services that I really need. Until now, I've explained how to pay off debt methodically, plus how to leverage your income by cutting extra costs. But don't only focus on this. Find things to earn more, and even making a few $100 a month, you can reduce years of debt payments. And it's easy to make a few extra bucks if you're really serious about it. For example, a friend of mine has the newest iPhone, plus he still has every old iPhone he ever owned in his basement. He doesn't even have a good reason to keep them. So if you have things stored in your basement or in your storage, sell them, because that way you'll generate extra income. And coming to the next point, we have something which affects my spending habits badly, but which could also generate me extra income, and that's starting a business. You shouldn't complain that starting a business is costly and then spend $500 a month eating out. Instead, cut spending on consuming and invest money on producing and creating something. It's important for you to understand that consumption spending, the joy is over after you've consumed it. Plus, it leaves a negative impact on your balance. But investing in businesses and creating something or producing something have maybe the same negative effects on your bank account, but at least you have the chance that it will reward you down the line. Compare it to spending $50 a month on fast food against someone spending $50 on a gym subscription. Eating fast food fulfills you with joy, happiness, but has negative impacts on your health, fitness, and bank account. Going to the gym, on the other hand, has the same negative impact on your bank account, but you'll be better in shape, have a better health down the line. So you could see your finances as a muscle and starting a business as a way to grow them. If you really want to know which 5 businesses to start with no effort and no money, watch this video over here. So thanks for watching as always, and see you in the next one. Bye.